Oogie Boogie Bash and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party are Disneyland and Walt Disney World's respective specially ticketed Halloween events. Both of these Halloween-themed parties feature in-park trick-or-treating, special entertainment offerings, exclusive character appearances, and meet and greets, and of course, grant both children and adults the ability to don their favorite Halloween costumes inside of a Disney park. While these events have a lot in common on paper, these two events could not be more different from one another. So today, I am comparing my experiences at both Oogie Boogie Bash and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party to decide once and for all which domestic Disney Halloween party reigns supreme. Hello, it's Maria. I'm a reporter here with WDW Magazine, here to take you on another magical escape. Without further ado, I am going to dive into the similarities and differences between these two parties because we have an awful lot to get to. I'm going to compare them on several key points, and the first of which being the parades. Both Oogie Boogie Bash and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party feature exclusive parades during their respective Halloween events. The Boo to You parade steps off twice nightly during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Walt Disney World, and Oogie Boogie Bash's Frightfully Fun parade also steps off twice nightly, giving guests two opportunities to see the parades at both events. To compare these two parades is honestly, in my opinion, a matter of preference and opinion, and here's why. Both feature elaborate and fantastically lit floats with rare Disney villains. The iconic gravediggers with the shovels making sparks on the concrete are in both parades, and the undead dancers waltz down the route in both too. And of course, the fantastically eerie ride of the Headless Horseman during the pre-parade is a staple of both parades as well. Boo to You has a whimsical score that is very lighthearted in its delivery and plays throughout the entirety of the parade, while the Frightfully Fun soundtrack is inspired more by pop rock and feels much more driven in its delivery. And I love and enjoy both of these parades and was totally into the character interactions, the floats, and the music during both of them. So like I said earlier, choosing a favorite really is a matter of preference and opinion. A big difference here is in the pre-parade, in the way that the Headless Horseman appears. At Oogie Boogie Bash, the story of Ichabod Crane is being told. There are some actors that kind of walk before the Headless Horseman and act out Ichabod's fear of him, whereas at Boo to You, during the pre-parade of that, at Magic Kingdom, the Headless Horseman just rides down the street and goes at a little bit of a quicker, a little bit more daunting pace in Magic Kingdom. So there are two differences there in the pre-parades, but they're both so cool, and they both feature the Headless Horseman, and I really do enjoy the heck out of them both. Stage shows is another key point that I want to compare these two parties on, and here's where the differences between both of these Halloween events really come into play. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party features several shows during the course of the party, one of which is a kid-friendly and features Disney Junior characters leading a dance party, but the flagship piece of entertainment here is the Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular that takes place on the Castle Forecourt stage. The Sanderson sisters are played by three actresses who all speak and sing live on stage playing these characters, and this is important for a later point I'll make about Oogie Boogie Bash, so remember that these three actresses are singing live, they are playing these characters live. The sisters call upon some pretty awesome and rare Disney villains during the course of the show to help them brew their potion, and live dancers dance throughout the action as well to some choreographed numbers. Now, to compare that to Oogie Boogie Bash's stage show is not really possible because Oogie Boogie Bash itself does not have a standalone stage show that is exclusive to the event. So a huge reason why I love Mickey's Not So Scary is because there is not only an exclusive parade and fireworks too, which if I'm being honest and honestly comparing both Oogie Boogie Bash and Mickey's Not So Scary, Oogie Boogie Bash does not have a fireworks show during their party, so a point for Mickey's Not So Scary there, but also because they have this huge scale production to see too at Mickey's Not So Scary, so I really love that about it. Trick-or-treating is another point which I want to talk about, but this also oddly kind of ties into the stage show point that I just made, so bear with me here. Both parties offer guests the opportunity to trick-or-treat around Disney California and Magic Kingdom respectively, and candy's unlimited at both of the parties, so anyone is allowed to trick-or-treat as much or as little as you'd like during the parties. At Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, the trick-or-treat stops are marked by giant light-up Mars candy-branded inflatables, and usually they are in an attraction or a quick-service restaurant that has closed for the night, and that is important. They are just in closed-down attractions or quick-service restaurants. And Mars candy is what is on offer at every treat stop at Mickey's Not So Scary, and lots of candy is what you should expect to take home if you visit every treat stop. There have been an occasional other snack or two besides candy, but 90% of those stops are all candy at Mickey's Not So Scary. Now, Oogie Boogie Bash does not have trick-or-treat stops. They have treat trails. The treat trails at Oogie Boogie Bash are not through closed attractions. They're located in their own dedicated areas around Disney California Adventure that have been staged, they have been musically underscored, they have been professionally lit, and they feature real actors playing rare Disney villains that you get to encounter while you walk through the treat trails. Does that sound familiar? Real actors playing these villains. And an extra added bonus, you get to talk to this time. And not only do you get to get extremely close to these villains, yeah, you can actually talk to them. You can ask them questions, and usually they'll interact with you because they're mic'd up and are really ready to dive into the deep lore from their respective movies. We saw Hades, and there were some girls in the party wearing Hercules' merchandise, which if you are familiar with Hercules, you will know why that set off Mr. Hades, and that was a great thing to see while going through the treat trails. We saw tons of other guests stopping quickly to take a selfie with these villains too, and the cast members didn't push anyone through, they didn't rush anyone, and the longest I waited at one of these treat trails, which was like a walking line, was 9 minutes. So you technically get to speak to these characters during a meet and greet. It basically is like a little meet and greet. You can stop and take a picture with them quickly and not have to wait longer than 9 minutes. And the level of set design, the costuming, the lighting, and the casting that goes into these treat trails really does make them feel like small-scale mini productions. So while Oogie Boogie Bash does not technically have a full-scale stage show, the treat trails are so well-themed and are so unique and so interactive that they hold their own when it comes to production value, in my opinion. Finally, the last point I want to discuss here are the atmospheres that are created in both of these parks. Both Disney California Adventure and Magic Kingdom have awesome atmospheres that are created specifically for these events. And while all of both Disney California Adventure and Magic Kingdom are beautifully, I should say spookily, I guess, decorated and lit and have special Halloween music playing throughout both parks, the atmosphere does feel a bit different in both of them. I love that Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party takes place at Walt Disney World's flagship theme park, the Magic Kingdom. So when the Headless Horseman rides, he is riding with Cinderella Castle as his backdrop, and that really does not get much cooler. But Oogie Boogie Bash, taking place in California Adventure, offers some unique atmospheric entertainment too, because Cars Land is in Disney California Adventure. Cars Land gets fully decked out for the Halloween season, from every inch of the land being decorated for Halloween to the cars themselves donning Halloween costumes. You can actually take pictures with them in their Halloween costumes. And walking through Cars Land during Oogie Boogie Bash does give the park an overall more Halloween presence, versus at Mickey's Not So Scary, really only Main Street USA is decorated for Halloween. So the decorations extend beyond the entryway decorations at California Adventure into the park a little bit more. Treat trails versus trick-or-treat stops, a villainous stage show versus stage villain interactions, fireworks versus atmospheric Halloween theming. The overall decision to put one party over another one is a very tough one because of how different and unique they both are. I will say this much. I will purchase tickets to both of these events again in future years because honestly, I have a great time every single time I go to either party, and both truly do offer incredible and really unique experiences outside of what you can experience as a day guest, and they both really get me excited for Halloween, and I leave with a lot of candy and a lot of treats every time. I love getting to wear a costume at both of the different parties. I truly do love them both. It would just depend on future years which coast I'm on during Halloween season, because I really would and will attend both again in future years. But I want to know about you. Will you attend one over the other? Which sounds more appealing to you, Oogie Boogie Bash or Not So Scary? Have you been to either? Leave us a comment and let us know. I want to start a discussion in the comments here. A reminder that this and all of our videos are brought to you by WDW Magazine. The link is in the video description to subscribe. Thanks again for following along, and definitely do leave us those comments. We want to have a conversation with you. I'll see you everyone in the next magical escape.
Are you even a true Disney fan if you don't have a WDW Magazine subscription? Don't just fly. Soar over to our website and subscribe to our award-winning Disney magazine.